California is seeing red this afternoon. 8 large wildfires burning across the state. Kern County now blocked from Southern California as the Saddleridge fire jumps the freeways.
And PG&E says weather conditions here are clearing up. The power is starting to turn back on for parts of Kern County.
And it was long lines and delays at the DMV in Kern County. Why people showing up had to turn around and go home.
Live in high definition from KBAK TV in Bakersfield. This is Eyewitness News at 5.
Thanks for joining us this evening. I'm Rochelle Murcia.
And I'm Dave Gonzalez. Wildfires in California are taking a deadly turn, burning more than 50,000 acres in Los Angeles County. Dozens of homes are damaged. About 100,000 people have been ordered to evacuate. To the southeast, the Cali Mesa fire burned a mobile home park. It started when a trash truck dumping burning garbage onto dry grass sparked those fires. 74 structures were destroyed and 1 person died.
The winds were sustained about 20 to 25 miles per hour with gusts over 50 miles per hour. The embers from the wind have been traveling a significant distance, which causes another fire to start. The Saddleridge fire in Sylmar is one of the 8 wildfires burning across the state right now. It's one of the closest to Kern County. It was fueled by those Santa Ana winds and dry conditions and low humidity. Southbound I-5 has reopened according to the CHP tonight. 1 person has died from the Saddleridge fire. And in Sylmar, that's where Eyewitness News reporter Tim Johns is standing by. He has the latest on the firefight tonight. How's it looking out there, Tim?
That's right, Dave, Rochelle. I'm actually here on the shoulder of the southbound I-5, which just opened about an hour ago. But the real story, as you can see, is still behind me. I'm going to step aside, give you guys a look at some of these flames. Now, these are part of that Saddleridge fire, which you guys were just talking about. It broke out last night in the northern foothills here of the San Fernando Valley near Sylmar, and then it jumped over the freeway and is now extended into these mountains here. And behind me is the neighborhood of Porter Ranch. Now, last night when this initially broke out, it was under 100 acres. At last we heard, the fire is now around 11 square miles and only 13% contained. Now, that may not seem like a lot, but Dave, Rochelle, just a couple of hours ago, we were looking at 0% containment. And the reason why it is so difficult to fight this fire is because of these Santa Ana winds that have come through this area and just spread those flames and those embers, making the wildfire spread so very rapidly, and also, of course, making it very difficult for our firefighters and first responders to actually battle this blaze. Now, 2 people have died, last we've heard, and there are about 100,000 under mandatory evacuation still at this time as first responders continue to fight this fire. That's all we know so far at this time. Obviously, it is still a very active scene here. We're going to continue to stay out here and monitor this fire, track these flames, and bring you guys the very latest. But for now, Dave, Rochelle, I'm going to toss it back to you in the studio.
Thank you for that. I want to take you live to a news conference being held by CAL FIRE right now. They're discussing that fire that Tim's talking about, the Sylmar fire. Let's listen in.
But other than that, and a small injury to a firefighter in his eye, we thankfully have seen our casualty count extremely low with a fire of this severity. Because of the severity of this fire and its capability to escalate, I signed a declaration of emergency for the city of Los Angeles about an hour ago. That's been received by the county, and our state officials will speak to the state declaration as well. And I want to thank Governor Newsom, who I've been in touch with since last night, for his assistance here and in Riverside County to ensure that we have the resources necessary to knock down these fires and to protect our communities. The declaration that I put forward directs all city departments to take whatever necessary steps, not only to fight this fire, but to accommodate the residents, so many who have been displaced because of this. And we have hopefully some good news I'll let some of the others talk about, of some folks who are able to visit their homes and some who will be able to return to some homes this evening as well. Just a review, we have 500 firefighters from Los Angeles City Fire Department and about 500 firefighters from our partner agencies that are on the line, including in the air and some of the strike teams that we have in the hills. And we want to thank those extraordinary first responders that have been out there. The evacuation order now affects about 100,000 people, that we hope to see that come down, but we will, and I think people understand this, not be bringing people back so early that they could be endangered. It's not the fire itself but the danger of wind taking an ember, blowing it someplace, and seeing entire neighborhoods overnight get lit up that we want to make sure that we protect you from. So if you're in an evacuation area, remind you, as soon as you get that order, you should already be ready now if you're in those areas. Prepare your stuff and get ready to go. If you hear that, though, we do not expect to be expanding those orders, but we will see overnight how the winds behave. We also expect these winds to be with us for about 24 hours more. The Santa Anas, after that, will get some winds in from the ocean, and we want to see which directions those blow on Sunday to ensure that people are safe as well. But right now, we still have the mandatory evacuations that are in place.
All right, there you hear a news conference being held by Mayor Garcetti of Los Angeles. They're talking about the latest on that Saddleridge fire burning in the Sylmar area that Tim Johns was talking about earlier.
We'll be making some announcements about folks south of the...
We'll continue to keep an eye on that fire, and obviously Tim will be there and let us know should anything develop out there. In the meantime, Amtrak's train service between Bakersfield and Los Angeles has been stopped due to the ongoing fires. They will not be offering alternative transportation. Anyone planning to travel to and from the LA area should check their train status online or use your smartphone. Amtrak will waive additional charges for customers who are looking to change their reservation. Also, Airport Valet Express is offering free rides now to and from Los Angeles, to LAX, I should say, for customers during these wildfires. Their route, though, is going to be down the 5 to the 126, and then you'll go west to Ventura and pick up the 101 and go south to LAX. That's a long way. Airport Valet Express expects it will take about 4.5 hours, in fact, from Bakersfield to LAX. They're asking customers to call the number on your screen there, and they will tell you when their next available departure will be. And rideshare company Lyft is also offering a couple of free rides to evacuees. People in Riverside and Los Angeles County can use this offer. The code, as you can see, is on your screen. Again, it is only for 2 free rides.
And if you're trying to go to the Los Angeles area this weekend, you may want to rethink your plans tonight. Allie Trillo is tracking traffic conditions. Allie?
Dave, Rochelle, you're hearing that it's going to take about 4.5 hours to get to LAX, and Caltrans is just really advising all Bakersfield residents to stay home if they can. Now, I want to bring you out to a live look at those flames. This is why traffic is so backed up. I mean, you're getting a look at that. Those roads absolutely barren at this time, and you could see that smoke covering the area to our south. Even some roads are being mapped out there on that screen to show you what we're working with. So here's what we know right now. The good news is that I-5 southbound has been reopened. We've heard that, but get a look at what things have looked like going down to LA. These photos coming in from our reporter Tim Johns, who made his way down to that Sylmar area. You could see it basically looks like a parking lot. Now we want to show you some video right now of what it looks like for residents trying to evacuate. This is no easy task. You could see not only does it look like it is nighttime with how thick that smoke is, but it is very difficult to get through, cars backed up trying to leave that area. So we do want to let you know right now some of the approximations of what you're working with. That northbound I-5 still closed, as well as areas around the 210 and the 405. So you're definitely going to want to check your GPS and check Caltrans online to be sure that you are up to date on those closures. We encourage everyone that can stay in Bakersfield to stay here, because getting down south is really going to take a long time. All right, reporting from the live desk, Dave and Rochelle, back to you.
All right, Allie, thanks for that. And of course, the Santa Ana winds are the cause of that Saddleridge fire. Now, Miles Muzio in the Weather Center with a look at it for us. Miles.
That's right, Dave. You can take a look at the satellite picture here, and we'll zoom into the Los Angeles area, and you can see the smoke coming down from the Saddleridge fire. It's, let's see, that's this one right here. In fact, some smoke even beginning to move up towards the Fraser Park area. And we are cautiously optimistic that things are looking a little bit better on the fire threat stage, even though we still have very low humidity. Look at the humidities in the 4, 5, and 6% range. But the fire index forecast as we go through the evening hours pretty much gets a lot better. So we're looking good. It looks like the Santa Ana winds will be dropping off at least temporarily. Temperatures right now in the 80s here in the valley, but only 50s and 60s up in the mountains, and the wind's beginning to drop off. Here you can see basically clear skies across our area, and temperature now is at 81 degrees, still very low humidity of 13%. Here are the winds down in the Burbank area. You can see light out of the northeast, and we have some gusts up to 25 in Gorman right right now, but that's way down from where it had been. Hey, it's Friday Night Football, too, and it's going to be perfect tonight. Temperatures will be dropping into the 60s during the game. Temperatures in the 60s this evening, dropping into the upper 40s for Saturday morning. Clear skies in the mountains, winds dropping off down into the 30s, even 20s tonight, and the Kern River Valley will be clear with a big harvest moon out there. We'll talk more about the harvest moon and the weather this weekend in just a few minutes. Dave and Rochelle, back to you.
All right, thank you, Miles. And also burning to our north is the Bryceburg fire near Yosemite National Park. That fire has burned over 4,900 acres. It is now 30% contained. That fire forced a closure of Section Highway 140 near the entrance of Yosemite National Park. Travelers are being redirected into the park on an alternative route.
And the high winds that are causing these large fires to grow are exactly why PG&E turned off the power across the state. Over the past 3 days, more than 800,000 customers had their electricity cut to reduce the risk of fire. Governor Newsom blasting the state's utility, though, for not modernizing the power grid.
It's decisions that were not made that have led to this moment. A desire to advance not public safety, but profits.
Here in Kern County, parts of eastern Kern woke up to no electricity for a second day.
Yeah, 50% of the power is still shut off for thousands of people in Kern County. Many are bracing for another cold night ahead. Emma Goss was in Bear Valley and Stallion Springs, where Southern California Edison kept the power off since yesterday morning. She's here with more for us. Emma?
Dave, Rochelle, even though some of the power is turning back on, many people have another night of complete darkness.
We have no phone lines. It's our cell or nothing.
Stallion Springs and Bear Valley Springs are not only still without power, their phone lines went down Thursday evening as Southern California Edison continues their planned power shutoff.
Just confirming that you've checked in at the library.
A 24-hour emergency response team is here, helping retirees who rely on ventilators and keeping residents informed.
It's going to get worse as time goes on because their batteries are going to start running out.
It already is worse for Shelley Black in Bear Valley Springs, where temperatures are expected to dip below 40 degrees for most of the night.
I have old dogs. I have one with cancer. Oh, here she is. She's come out to see us. And I can't keep them warm enough, so it's going to be a very difficult evening for them as well.
To keep warm, her neighbors started fires in their fireplaces, a dangerous thing to do during gusty winds.
Depriving us of warmth in our homes when it's going to be 35 degrees is not the way to keep us safe from a fire.
Black is using her truck to keep her cell phone charged. She said most of her neighbors don't have that convenience.
This is an elderly community. A lot of these elderly people, they don't have internet, they don't even have cell phones, so they're completely out of the loop now, and they don't have any heat.
Which is why police are going door to door in some areas, checking on neighborhoods to be sure that during this blackout, no one is left completely in the dark.
Now for PG&E customers, PG&E said the extreme weather in our area has passed, so the crews are out right now at inspections, and they're beginning for Kern customers impacted by their power safety shutoffs. Reporting in studio, Emma Goss, Eyewitness News.
All right, Emma, and Eyewitness News will, of course, continue to stay on top of these emergency outages. We'll bring you the very latest updates right here on the air on our website, bakersfieldnow.com.
A fire at an auto shop in East Bakersfield sent 2 people to the hospital. Black smoke could be seen coming from H&D Auto Repair at East Terrence Way. 2 people were burned inside. They were taken to the hospital. More than 20 cars were damaged. 4 dogs were also rescued. They were not hurt. There was not any damage to any nearby buildings.
Coming up on Eyewitness News, we're going to continue to stay on top of that Saddleridge fire and the highway closures associated with it, like the 5 going down to Los Angeles.
And the impeachment battle continues, why some say the House is skipping a step when it comes to a critical vote.
Also, the Trona High School football team is helping their community to recover from the July twin quakes. How a dirt field is helping them reach their gridiron goals.
And the red flag warning for Kern County mountains was just extended. It was supposed to stop at 5 o'clock, extended till midnight now. We'll talk about the fire situation.